are you? I hope that you all are fine. So in this video we will discuss about unit vector. Okay. Unit vector. Okay. So here unit, it means unity. Okay. One. Okay. Unity, it means one. Okay. So what is unit vector? The vector whose magnitude is unity is called unit vector. Okay. So unit vector क्या होता है? The vector whose magnitude is unity. Okay. Means the vector whose magnitude is 1. Okay. Is called unit vector. Okay. What is unit vector? The vector whose magnitude is unity. Okay. Or we can say the vector whose magnitude is 1. Okay. Is called unit vector. Okay. Okay. And let's see some point related unit vector. Okay. So here our first point is it is denoted by cap over a letter. Okay. So unit vector is denoted by cap over a letter. Okay. For example, A cap, B cap, C cap. Okay, and so on. So this one is our cap. Okay. So unit vector is denoted by cap over a letter. Okay. Unit vector is denoted by cap over a letter. Okay. Now second point is that unit vector is used to indicate, okay, indicate direction. Okay, and it is used to indicate direction. Okay, like okay, so unit vector is used to indicate direction. Okay, now move to our third point. Unit vector along x-axis is taken as I cap. Okay. So here is the point that unit vector along x-axis is taken as I cap. Okay. And unit vector along y-axis is taken as j cap. and unit vector along y cap is taken as j cap. Okay, and unit vector along x axis is taken as uh, I cap. Okay, and unit vector is used to indicate the direction. Okay, and it is denoted by cap over a letter. Okay, like this. And what is unit vector? The vector whose magnitude is unity, okay, or you can say 1, is called unit vector. Okay. So now let's see one more point. Unit vector, that unit vector along z axis is taken as k cap. Okay, and unit vector along z axis is taken as k cap. Okay, and unit vector along x axis is taken as I cap, and unit vector along y axis is taken as j cap. Okay, and unit vector along z axis is taken as y cap. Okay, sorry, k cap. Okay, and unit vector along any vector, okay, is defined as, let's see one more point, that unit vector along any vector, any vector like r vector, okay, is defined as r cap is equal to r vector by the magnitude of the vector. Okay, so if we put modulus, then the arrow is removed. Okay, so here we can write r vector by r. Okay, the arrow is removed by putting modulus. Okay, so here okay, so unit vector along any vector, okay, any vector, like you can say a vector, b vector, okay, any vector is defined as like this. Okay, r cap is equal to r vector by the modulus of the vector. Okay, and the arrow is removed by putting the modulus. Okay, so here we can also write like this, r vector by r. Okay, so this is all about the unit vector. Okay, that first of all we have discussed that what is unit vector. Okay, the vector whose magnitude is unity, okay, is called unit vector. Okay, and it is denoted by the cap over a letter. Okay, and unit vector is used to indicate direction. Okay, and unit vector along x axis is taken as I cap, and unit vector along y axis is taken as j cap. Okay, and unit vector along z axis is taken as k cap. Okay, uh, this one is our last point, that unit vector along any vector is defined as, like here we take r vector. Okay, so it is defined as r cap. Okay, is equal to uh, r vector by the magnitude of the vector. Okay, so I hope you understand this point. Okay, now let's see question. So now let's see a question related this. Okay, so here is the first question, that if p vector is equal to 2 I cap minus 3 j cap plus 2 k cap meter, then find a the mod of the p vector. Okay, and b we have to find p cap. Okay, so let's solve this question. P vector is equal to root under the coefficient of I cap is 2, okay, square plus the coefficient of j cap minus 3, okay, square of the coefficient of j cap plus square of the coefficient of k cap, that is 2, okay, so 2 square. Square of 2, that is 4, 9 plus 4, okay, 70. This one is our answer. Okay, root 70 is the answer of A. Okay. Now B. P cap. Okay. So and we know well unit vector of unit vector along any vector is defined as P cap is equal to vector of P by magnitude of P. Okay. So here P vector is given, that is 2 I cap minus 3 j cap plus 2 k cap. Okay. 2 I cap minus 3 j cap plus 2 k cap. Okay. By the mod of the P vector. Okay. That is root 70. Okay. So by root 70. This one is our answer. Okay. So I hope you understand this question very well. Now move to our next question. This one is our second question. Okay. If A vector is equal to 3 I cap plus 2 j cap minus k cap and B vector is equal to I cap plus 2 j cap, then find A. Okay. So let's solve this question. First of all, we have to find the magnitude of A vector. Okay. You can also write like this. Okay. Is equal to root under coefficient of I cap 3 square plus coefficient of j cap, that is 2. Okay. Square plus coefficient of k cap, that is minus 1. Okay. Minus 1 square. Okay. Where 9 plus 4 plus 1. Okay. Root 14. This one is our answer. Okay. And now we have to find the magnitude of B vector. Okay. Find the magnitude of B vector. Okay. So here root under coefficient of I cap square. Okay, that is 1 plus 2 j cap. Okay. So here coefficient of I is 1 square plus coefficient of j cap, that is 2. Okay. 1 plus 4 equal to root 5. Okay. This one is our answer. Now we have to find A vector plus B vector. Okay. We have to find A vector plus B vector. Okay. So here our A vector is 3 I cap plus 2 j cap minus k cap. Okay. Plus I cap plus 2 j cap. Okay. So here we can write 3 I cap plus 2 j j cap minus k cap plus b vector, that is I cap, plus 2 j cap. Okay. Now here 3 I cap plus I cap, that is 4 I cap. Okay. There 2 j cap plus 2 j cap, 4 j cap. Okay. Minus k cap. This one is our answer. Okay, so I hope you understand this question that we solved. Okay. Now we have to find a vector minus b vector. Okay. Now we have to find a vector minus b vector. Okay. So a vector is given, that is 3 I cap plus 2 j cap minus k cap. Okay. This is our a vector. Okay. And now minus b vector, that is given minus I cap plus 2 j cap. Okay. Now here we can write 3 I cap plus 2 j cap minus k cap minus I cap plus minus 2 j cap. Okay. Now we have 3 I cap, 3 I cap minus I cap is our 2 I cap. Okay. And here plus 2 j cap minus 2 j cap cancel. Okay. So here k cap. Okay. This one is our answer. Okay. Now we have to find the magnitude of a vector plus b vector. Okay. We have to find the magnitude of a vector plus b vector. Okay. Root under a vector plus b vector. Here we had already find a vector plus b vector. Okay. That is 4 I cap plus 4 j cap minus k cap. Okay. So we can write the coefficient of I cap, that is 4 square. Okay. Coefficient of the square of the coefficient of j cap, that is 4. Okay. Plus coefficient of k cap, that is minus 1. Okay. Minus 1 square. Okay. So here 60 plus 60 plus 1. So here 33. This one is our answer. Okay. Now we have to find a vector, the magnitude of a vector minus b vector. Okay. If magnitude of a vector minus b vector. Okay. So root under here we had already find a vector minus b vector. Okay. It gives 2 I cap minus k cap. Okay. So here the coefficient of I cap is our 2 square plus coefficient of j cap is 0. Okay. Coefficient of k cap is minus 1. 4 plus 1, that is root I. This one is our answer. Okay. So I hope you understand very well. Now G, we have to find a cap. Okay. have to find A cap. Okay. So here A vector by the magnitude of A vector. Okay. Because the unit vector of any vector is defined as A vector by the magnitude of A vector. Okay. So here A vector is given, that is 3I cap plus 2j cap minus k cap. Okay. And here also we had already find the magnitude of the A vector, that is root 14. Okay. So here A vector is 3I cap plus 2j cap minus k cap. Okay. By root 14. Okay, here we had already find the magnitude of the A vector. Okay, that is root 14. Okay, root 14. This one is our answer. Okay, now we have to find B cap. Okay, so B vector by magnitude of B vector. Okay, B vector is given, that is I cap plus 2j cap. Okay, by here we had already find the magnitude of the B vector, that is root 5. Okay, so here write root 5. This one is our answer. Okay, now we have to find unit vector along A vector plus B vector. Okay, I unit vector along A vector plus B vector. Okay, so here we can write A vector plus B vector by the magnitude of the A vector plus B vector. Okay, now here we had already find A vector plus B vector. Okay, that is 4I cap plus 4j cap minus j cap. Okay, and we had also find the magnitude of the A vector plus B vector, that is root 33. Okay, so here we can write 4I cap plus 4j cap minus k cap by root 33. Okay, this one is our answer. Okay, now let's solve the last question, that is unit vector along A vector minus B vector. Okay, so now let's solve this question. That unit vector along A vector minus B vector. Okay, A vector plus B vector by the magnitude of A vector plus B vector. Okay, not A plus B, here A minus B. Okay, so here we had already find the value of A vector minus B vector and A vector minus the magnitude of the A vector minus B vector. So here A vector minus B vector is 2 I cap minus K cap. Okay. And the magnitude of A vector minus B vector is our root 5. Okay. Now put this value. So A vector minus B vector is our A vector minus B vector 2 I cap minus K cap. Okay. So A vector minus B vector is our 2 I cap minus K cap by the magnitude of A vector minus B vector is our root 5. Okay. So this one is our answer. Okay. So I hope you understand this question very well. Okay. So this question. Okay. So in this video we have discussed about unit vector. Okay, and some question related this. Okay. So I hope you understand all the video. That's all for today. Thank you. Have a nice day.